Hi everybody, all my followers, welcome to another video. So the video today, do you guys recognize this car? Yeah, it's my personal car, my BMW E65 7 Series. And right, what's wrong with this? So, the first thing I want to say is going to be a little bit of talking here now at the start. So I'm so many times criticized for speaking too much, so I will leave a link in the description below to this same video, but exactly where the repair starts. So if you don't want to hear this bit, please go down in the description, click on that link and just watch the repair. Now, as per the title is most likely going to suggest, this car is having an airbag issue. Now, as the saying says, this, if I'm not mistaken, is something along these lines: the son of the shoemaker soon will go barefoot. So basically, guys, I've been doing everybody else's jobs and I've been neglecting my car. And I think it's time to start to tackle all the issues with it. And the first issue the car had, which is already repaired, just curiosity, was front brake pads. I had the warning for ages. I don't drive this car too much, and the alarm was there for ages, the warning for the front brake pads. So when I went to change the pads, was about, not even joking guys, was about 1 millimeter left of pad. And anyway, it's all done, new pads, new sensor, that's all done. That was done about a couple of weeks ago, and now I need to sort the next problem. Now, the next problem with the airbags, there's another issue with where the car is leaking coolant on the EGR thermostat. I believe it's just the O-ring, but this is the 730 diesel, so it's the thermostat that goes right at the front of the engine with a thermostat at the top. And it's leaking coolant in there. I need to top it up every couple of weeks, so I need to get that sorted next. But now we're going to do the airbags. Right, the airbags. The issue with the airbags started about 2 years ago. And some of you are going to go, what, 2 years ago? Yes, 2 years ago. So I had the warning light coming on first. And when I plugged in the MaxiSys, I saw the fault that is the same fault as in the description above, which I will be scanning the car very soon. The MaxiSys is already plugged in. Actually, I plug it in to show you the fault. So let's gonna scan the car and I'll show you the fault. Okay, so ignition on. That's my fault, guys. So as you have seen, was faults for the, so there we go. And I have my pretension or belt or seat belt light on constantly, and I have my airbag light constantly as well. Yeah, I need to sort that issue as well. So let's gonna do a quick scan on the car, on the module. I know exactly where the fault is, so I'm going to go straight to that module. I believe it's body. SGM, yes, that's the one. So my fault is... Okay, so all these faults... Bloody hell. Damn it. Okay, all these faults, they are here. Okay, all these faults are here because I had the module disconnected. So basically what happened, I'll take a little bit further now. So the module is there just hanging up because I took it off to check. And I have a replacement here, which just arrived yesterday. So that's the reason why I have all that. Because I disconnected the module and then I've turned the ignition on because I wanted to see if I could drive the car without the module. So I would leave the module off and I'll try to while I was waiting for the next module. But the car literally doesn't drive with the module disconnected. So that's why it's this faulty. I never clear the faults afterwards. But the fault in question, guys, I can guarantee you is that one in there. 93F9. SGM SIM control unit fault. Okay, that's my fault. It's constantly there. It doesn't go away. I can try to clear it and see if it comes back straight away. So no faults now. Well, let's gonna cycle the ignition. Try the engine now. Okay, so as you can see, the fault's still there. Let me see. Maybe I didn't let the I didn't let the key off for long enough. Yeah, that was what it was. Let me try to. Let me see if I can make the fault come back. Okay, unfortunately, it's not coming back on now, but it will come back on very shortly. So, as I was saying, guys, the fault came for the first time about 2 years ago. I've cleared the faults, and the fault went away. And I had, I would say for a few months, I even forgot about it. The light never came back on. Then all of a sudden, the light came back on again. Light on again. Plug in the maxi sys, clear the fault, and then for about a year and a half, it was a little bit intermittent. It would come on, I would clear, would last, I don't know, 2-3 months, then would come on. Sometimes I would clear, would last for a couple of weeks, would come on, then clear again, and it's been like that for about a year and a half. Then one day I thought, you know what, let me try to flash the module. Actually, there's going to be a video, a very similar video, guys. I'm going to leave the link in the description below for the same, pretty much the same fault. I think this video is going to be pretty much the same. For the same fault, I believe it's actually the same fault on a 5 Series, on a E60. So very similar fault. So I've tried, and I mentioned that on the video actually. So basically what I've done, we are on January 2019 today. Is the 5th of January, and I flashed the module. I've checked that when I flashed it, last time I've done it, and was flashed back in May last year, and it lasted all the way up to about beginning of December. So it lasted for pretty much 6 months. Anyway, I flashed the module, and the fault went away, and it never came back. And once again I forgot about it until the fault came back on in beginning of December, so just about a month ago. But this time when the fault came back on, I've cleared the faults, and guess what, the fault would come on straight away, would last, I think at one point I was driving with the maxi sys connected, and the fault would just come back every 5-10 minutes. So what I've done was I bought a module. So this module, guys, I want to show you that the module I bought is exactly the same part number, as you're gonna see. So what is that? Actually, this module has been updated. Okay, internally it shows me that there is 6960944. Okay, that's module that's in there now, but I believe that's the software number. Anyway, I'm sure it is the software number. So hardware for 512 1241. So hardware number 14. So same hardware number there. Okay, hardware number 14. So that's the same. And it's just the part number there. I strongly believe that's going to be my software part number. But once I take that module off, you're going to see that this module. So let me put the module right here so we can see it better. So this module 6950242. I bought the exact same part number. Okay. So yeah, so I bought this module now, and what we're gonna do now is programming the module to the car. So you're gonna see that when I plug the module, I think it's gonna come up with a few faults, but let's go a bit at a time. So the first thing we're gonna do is obviously turn the car off. Okay, and we're gonna take the original module out and plug this module in. Okay, so let's just that out. Now it's over here. That's it. That will go off in a second. That's it. And as you're going to be able to see, so this is my original module. This is the module I just bought. So as you can see in there, 6950242. 6950242. Okay, so same module, same thing. And now we're just gonna plug that one in. You might ask why this was already removed. These that you saw the module hanging off in there. The module's been hanging off in there since about middle December, because I took it off and then I didn't want to buy the module during the holidays, Christmas and New Year. So I had to wait for that to go away, because I didn't want to risk to get the module lost during transit or something like that. So yeah, so let's gonna plug that one in and go from there really. And let's go. So down there. I'm not gonna put it back where it goes actually on the train there yet. I'm just gonna plug it in. This. Okay, plug it in. The old one. And let's gonna see what happens now. Okay, so let's gonna turn ignition on. And I have another, obviously straight away. And let's gonna see what actually the Maxi-Cs tell us about. Oh, okay. Oh, come on, it's not that. So we have that. So all these faults then are present. Mainly all these faults here again is because obviously I disconnected before everything went to sleep. But as you can see, that other fault, that was the internal something, that's gone. All these are not present, and the only fault I have now is that one in there. Incorrect chassis number, which I will not be able to get rid of. So even if I come back and erase these codes, yes, okay, I will be left with, oh come on, seriously, hold on, let me come off the module. Okay, and after let the car kind of go to sleep and turn the ignition back on, scan the module, and there it is. Incorrect chassis number, 93AC. And now that's what we're gonna. So it looks like this module is good. No problems with it. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take you through the programming procedure to obviously get rid of that code. For that, on the Maxi-Cs, you need to connect the J2534 with a USB cable, which we're gonna do. We're gonna log in into programming mode, which is gonna be somewhere. Okay, which is gonna be there. And in the meantime, while it loads, I'm gonna obviously hook the battery maintainer, because we need to keep the battery voltage, otherwise it can get into trouble. Okay, and once you start the session, it gets to a point where it asks you if any control units have been replaced, and at this point we're gonna press yes. Okay, and now we're gonna tell which module was, and our module was that one in there. Okay, so SGM-SIM safety and gateway module. Okay, now we press OK. And we're gonna wait it to load. And that will take you straight away to this screen, and we're just gonna have a look at the initial report. So that's what it tells me to do. Okay, so it tells me there is an update for this and tells me to replace all this. Now, curiosity only, because you're gonna see a video that I've done for, see, without showing number plate, I've done for this car, for the PDC module, where the MaxiSeries also told me to replace that, and I had to replace it. Now, as you can see here, it tells me to replace these 3 modules, and I don't need to replace these 3 modules. As you can see, all these numbers here, they start with a 9, they start with a 6. The reason is because I've upgraded my screen here, my control display in here. If you know the pre-facelift module, the menu is slightly different, the graphics. So I've changed that with a new one. I've changed the rear phone module. So if you know these cars, they come with a brick phone here, and I've just put the normal Bluetooth module at the back. As you can see, my phone is connected through Bluetooth, otherwise it wouldn't work, and that's why it's telling me that. So the TCU is the one at the back in the boot, and these 2 modules here is actually the screen and the computer, which on the 7 series is all in there. So the E60, for example, you have the screen, which is just purely a screen, and then all the computation is done down here by the CCC. On the 7 series, everything is done in there. So these 2 modules, they are actually one here. Okay, but so just to say that the fact that it tells me to replace doesn't necessarily means there's nothing wrong. I have everything working on my screen. Everything works as it should. I have no problems at all. So I don't know, just curiosity. Anyway, just to show here that it doesn't tell me nothing about the safety gateway module. So we're going to go back, and what we're going to do, we're going to do programming and coding. We're going to go to control unit list. That's it. And now we're going to go to SGM SIM module, and we're going to go to program. Okay, so it tells me it's going to take about a minute. It tells me here that the software is the same, so it's going to program the same software, so there's no new software. So if we go back, as you can see, the part number that shows and ECU details is actually the software number, as you can see in there. Okay, so it tells me it's going to program the module, then it tells me it's going to code the module, same numbers. Here is a description of everything that's going to be done. Okay, and just let me make sure I have voltage. Yes, I do. So all we're going to do is execute measures plan. Make sure it's connected to the internet, which it is. So the MaxiSeries now is going to load the flash file. Now he's going to check the file, make sure it's okay. So it's okay. You press OK. So it's now that beep is the MaxiSeries closing the Bluetooth connection and connecting through Bluetooth, through the USB cable, sorry. So that's all okay, and it's gonna start. Now what the MaxiSeries will do now is, because we told because we told her at the beginning that the SGM module was replaced. What the Maxis is going to do is, when he does this flashing process that he's doing now, he's going to write the VIN from this car. Okay, so we have all these warnings. You don't need to worry too much. This is normal. Okay. As you can see, it doesn't take too long. This module, there is modules. Okay guys, I got interrupted. I do apologize. He's now asking me to turn the ignition off, which we're gonna do. We're gonna wait. Now it tells me to turn the ignition back on, which we gotta do. So, ignition on. That should detect, yeah. I do apologize guys, I was not planning to post the video at all, but I just got interrupted. Okay, turn off ignition again. We're gonna turn off ignition again. Back on. Okay, so let's gonna check what happened here. So blah blah blah, all success. So we're gonna just do continue session. I have no warnings on my dash now, as you can see. Okay, so that's done, and what I want to do now is it's gonna get there. Okay, so that's all good. What I'm looking for is to see. There we go. So as you can see now, so okay, let's go back so I show you exactly what I'm doing. So I'm still here on my initial coding and programming menu. If I go programming and coding, go to my control unit list, load my my unit, and I go to last programming information, and as you can see, it shows me everything that's been programmed to the car. Yeah, so the part number, it doesn't show programming version. It shows the date in there. Okay, so the today's date. And look at my chassis number. DL66868, which is exactly my chassis number. Okay, and that's the, and then there's a little bit, oh, there's nothing really. It just says that, but it doesn't show nothing there, but doesn't really matter. But yeah, so that is, if I go to diagnosis now, it shows no faults, obviously. So the production date, when was made. This is fine, the same. I don't know. Oh, that's the... Oh, come on. Let's try to see if I would get on live data. Ah, there we go. So my live data also shows my chassis number. And as you can see, it's been updated with the correct chassis number for the car. So basically, that's how it's done when you do this with... it's going to come out complete off here, so I don't need to be it anymore. And that's how it's done when you try to program a second-hand module using the Maxi Sys. You're gonna, like I said, there's a video in the description below for the same work on a E60, or pretty much the same. At the time, I was not really sure. I believe I was done, but I ended up doing that way. But on this one was a little bit more straightforward because I was still remember I was done. And that's it, really. All I'm gonna do now is put the module in his rack, or in his place in there. Put that cover back, and job done. That's it. I don't know how interestingly you guys think this is. Just a quick note. These modules, guys, usually what fails on these modules is two big capacitors that are inside here. Okay? I could attempt to fix it like that. The capacitors themselves, I found them for about £25. I paid just a little bit more for the entire module, so yeah, I don't know. And to be fair, I don't know if that's the real cause for this. If the module was like hundreds, I would attempt to repair that one first, replacing those capacitors, because I think I paid £60 for the module, something like that. For the module we just fitted, so it was not that bad. I prefer this way, much quicker for now, and I can keep that module, and if I ever have a car with the same problem, I can then try to repair that one. And that's it, guys. I don't know how much you're gonna enjoy the video, but I really hope there's some information here you guys can take forward. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really do. If you do have any questions, any comments, put them below. And like always, guys, thank you so much for watching.